In this tutorial, we're going to be going over pages 2, 3, and 4 of our information fact sheet. Page 2 covers basic city information and election information, such as when the election is conducted and the type of election it is. Page 3 goes over precinct kit information and any reports, such as a polling place and voter ID reports. Page 4 goes over a vote by mail tracking program and also some of these supplies. So we're going to start on page 2. I'm using Acrobat Reader 9, which is free on adobe.com. And I'm going to go over these buttons here. The first button here you want to pay attention to is this reset form. If you click on this button, it's going to delete everything on the form. See what happened? It resets everything, but we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up again. I closed it without saving it. So I opened it up, and here it is. The second button is a submit by email. Submit by email means that you have filled out everything that is in red. If you click on highlight fields, it's going to tell you what is required and what is optional. And you cannot submit by email unless everything is filled out in red. See, this says at least one field was empty on the export, so you need to fill it in before you're able to continue. So we're going to be going down the list and seeing what we probably forgot to fill in. But the city information is pretty basic. Most of this will be filled out for you. It's the election contact person is the person who is going to be making decisions for the election, not necessarily the city clerk. And here is their contact information. We also need to know the office hours. Some offices alternate on Fridays, so we need to know when the first alternate Friday for your calendar year is, if that applies to you. If it doesn't, go ahead and leave it blank. If you have an all-mail ballot election, go ahead and click on it. And as soon as you click on it, you'll see that some things that no longer apply to you will go away. But I have pre-filled this out, so we're just going to go over some of these options. Election type is the type of election you have, whether it's a consolidated, a general, primary. You can just select what it is. On the election date, tell us when your election is going to be held on. The time the polls close, it's typically either 7 or 8 o'clock. If it's a different time, then please tell us in this section where it says other instructions. The estimated number of polling places is just a guess. This just kind of gets us ready to figure out how many polling places, kits we need to put together. It doesn't, it could be more, it could be less, but we just need a general idea. The real polling place number will come from the consolidated file. We need to know the language of the precinct kits. For Anaheim, I've selected English Spanish. A sample kit is a kit that we send ahead of time that will be a duplicate of what we send to the polling places. So this is just an extra copy for you to know what's going to go in there, and it's also a good backup to have in case one of the polling places is missing something, or you need to direct them in some way of what certain things look like. I voted stickers. You have your options here of English, Spanish, or multi-language, or none. The flags has a drop down of who has the flags, whether you're going to be using the county, you have your own, or if Martin Chapman stores them. If we have your flags, then we will automatically fill this in for you. Rosters, do you want the rosters to go with your precinct kits, or do you want them to ship separately? Ballot boxes, whether you're going to use county boxes or the cardboard boxes we supply. How many voting booths you're going to need for precinct, where those booths are going to come from, whether you're going to rent them from us, you're going to use county booths, let us know. Where to deliver the precinct kits. If it's going to be to another location, please let us know, or whether we're going to deliver it to City Hall. We need to know how many poll workers you're going to have per precinct, and whether how you're going to tell the poll workers their appointment forms. So you have a few options here. Whether you want to do them yourself, you can select these two. If you want us to type them and send them to you, pre-typed, you have here this option. And if you would like Officer Digest, which are optional, then you can select this option. Here are the reports. These are the alphabetical voter information. This is the list of voters that are active, and also we have a different list, which is a polling place, which is where each voter's polling place is. So we have an option of either 54 days or 29 days before. If you have any more you'd like to order, you can put them here, or if you don't want to order any at all, you can just select 0. Page 4 is our vote by mail tracking software. We need to know whether you want a standalone or a network. Standalone means that you're going to be using it only on one computer. If you're a larger city with a high PVBM count, you might want to consider doing a network system, which means that you can use our software on multiple computers. And then lastly, we need to know what the operating software is. Most of the cities are still on Windows XP. Vote by mail counting. Do you want to count by precinct or all together? The popular option is by precinct. Red boxes for vote by mail ballots. These are the boxes for ballots that have already run through the voting machines. Typically, cities use small boxes because they have a lower turnout. But if you're a city with a high voter turnout per precinct, then I would recommend using a large box. And then we recommend using 2 boxes per precinct, but you certainly have the option to order 1, 2, or 3, or none. And then if you're going to be using large boxes, let's say you're an all-mail ballot election, you can select large boxes and then say, you want maybe 5 per precinct. Vote by mail supplies. On the envelopes that are the outgoing and the ID return, do you want the name of the city clerk or office of the city clerk? The more popular one is office of the city clerk. And if you're going to be using a different P.O. box, we need to know that information, the actual P.O. box number of the city and the zip code, and whether this is for this election only or whether this is going to be the norm. If you're going to be using business reply, meaning that you're going to pay for the postage that comes back, select that option. If you'd like to use a hide a signature return envelope, let us know and we'll get you pricing, because this is going to change from election to election depending on how many cities go for this option. Yellow labels of permanent vote by mail voters. This is not used very often, but because we pre-address for you your yellow envelopes, which are used for permanent vote by mail voters. Some cities still order them thinking they need to, but there's really no need to order them anymore. If you are going to use them, we'd like to know the reason for them, whether it's for control purposes, to sell them to candidates, or if you don't know why you order these. Most cities don't need to order these anymore. And the last question is whether you have any leftover inventory from your previous election that you'd like to use. And we'll go over that in the next video.